Hello, my name is Grant and I'm the Principal of St Aloysius. It was wonderful to meet you all at our Kinder enrolment interviews back in June. Thank you for choosing St Aloysius. We are delighted you have entrusted us with your child's education and look forward to welcoming them to our school in 2021. Unfortunately, due to COVID, our transition to Kinder looks very different this year. These videos will take the place of our Starting School Expo and will be followed up by a number of meetings with our current Kinder teachers. I hope you enjoy them and that they help make your child's transition to school a smooth and successful one. Until then, take care and keep safe.
Good morning, parents, grandparents and carers. I'm Jenny Sampson.
And I'm Denise Stephen, and we're the Learning Support Teachers at St Aloysius.
The Learning Support team is integral to the whole school. Our aim is to cater for the intellectual, spiritual, emotional, social and physical dimensions of each and every student. We do this as a team, working collaboratively and dynamically with the class teachers, students, parents and guardians and outside agencies.
Within a Christian framework, we provide a learning environment that is supportive and responsive to individual needs and differences, and that recognises and celebrates the individual students' abilities and strengths.
The Learning Support team consists of 2 learning support teachers. I work full-time in this capacity, and Denise is here 3 days a fortnight. We work both in the classrooms with small groups, as well as oversee the implementation of intervention programs such as Mini-Lit in infants and Mac-Lit in primary. These are highly effective, evidence-based small group programs that provide additional assistance for those needing support in literacy.
We have 8 learning support assistants who work within the classroom supporting students individually and in small groups and following the lead of the teachers.
Amy Matson is our EALD teacher, English as an additional language teacher. She works full-time, both in the classroom, in small groups and one-on-one where needed.
I'm the Aboriginal education teacher. I'm here 4 days a week. We also have an Aboriginal education support officer, Monique Crick. We support students within the school, assisting in providing Aboriginal perspectives within the curriculum and promote and encourage links with the wider Indigenous community.
Lisa Moore is our Defence Transition Aide. She's here 2 days a week and she actively supports the unique needs of students from Defence families.
We have a pastoral care worker, Gail McCarter, and she's here 2 days a week.
Jeff Morley is our school psychologist and he's here 3 days a week. The learning support teachers work closely and collaboratively with Jeff to support the teachers and students in the school.
We have sound processes in place within the school which ensure that students' strengths and needs are recognised and met. St Aloysius aims to provide a fully inclusive mainstream learning environment that reflects the principles of the Disability Discrimination Act and the Disability Standards for Education.
We encourage you to talk to your teachers first and foremost if you have any ongoing concerns about your child, and we will all work together to support and encourage your child so that their experiences at school are optimal.
We wish you and your child a smooth transition into our St Aloysius community and look forward to welcoming you here.
Hello, I'm Jeff Morley. I'm the school psychologist here at St Aloysius. I'm responsible for intervening and assessing students with respect to emotional and learning issues. However, I do believe that when children are starting school that they need some time to settle in, but I work very closely with all staff at the school, including teachers and support teachers and the executive. There's a few things when it's a big thing when your children start school, and however it's an inevitable part of their lives and of your lives. And of course you can be apprehensive about this and hope that they adapt and learn well. However, Be careful that your concerns don't overflow onto your children or child. If they get upset leaving you, acknowledge their upset. Reassure them that you know they are brave and can do it. Then walk away knowing that they're in the very capable, caring hands of their teachers. To aid their learning, read to them every night. Make sure their pencil grip is correct, and that if they practice writing at home, their posture is good and that their eyes are not too close to the paper. If you have any concerns about your child's development and or progress, talk to his or her teacher as the first port of call. Teacher will usually then discuss it with me and we'll make a decision as to where to go next. I always communicate well with parents, as you're part of your child's learning as well as the staff here at school. So settle back and enjoy your child's education journey here at St. Aloysius. Thank you.
Do you want to try to do that last 30 seconds again? And maybe not turn the paper?
And maybe not turn the... What last 30 seconds? Where does it start?
We don't have to.
I'll shut this window too because
What was that noise?
Oh, they've turned the tap off, the sprinkler. Maybe just start from there.
Here?
And,
All right.
just try to remember about flipping the paper over. If you
Oh, wait on, I'll just see what it says. I thought that was a good touch.
can. Oh, I can leave
No,
it
I'm
if you
only
like
joking. I'm only joking.
it. Whenever you're ready, I'll just cut it in. So,
If you have any concerns at any time about your child's development and or learning progress, talk to his or her teacher as the first port of call. I work collaboratively with all teachers, so the teacher will consult with me in order to decide what the next avenue of intervention is. So settle back and enjoy your child's learning journey here at St. Aloysius.
yay!
what are some of the activities that we've done in Aboriginal Club over the years that you've enjoyed?
Going on excursions, understanding the language of the Wanneroo people.
And do you think St. Aloysius is a welcoming community for Aboriginal students?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learning about the culture, what they did, what they wore, how they survived. Probably looking forward to most of the excursions and most of the time leaving parties. It's kind of fun. You might think it's sad. It's pretty fun though. And probably the time capsule at the front of the office. You could bury some of them, schoolwork, books you read, maybe even a personal item.
So have we done a time capsule, or are you saying that'd be a fun thing to do?
We've done a time capsule.
When did that happen?
Last year.
Okay, and was that part of Aboriginal culture?
No, it wasn't part of Aboriginal culture, but most of us did go there.
Okay.
And it was mainly the Year 5s and the Aboriginal kids, so it went.
And what kind of things were put in the time capsule?
Schoolwork, books, personal items, rosemary beads, whatever. I can't remember what they call it.
Yeah, rose beads. Yeah.
A small cross and I think a plastic plant.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kyra, the nominated supervisor here at St Nicholas OOSH at Chisholm. So we run our program here in the hall, really convenient for our families, opening for before and after school care. We're open from 6:30 in the morning until the school bell at 8:30, providing children with a nutritious breakfast and a range of activities based on their interests. Of an afternoon, we provide care from when the school bell goes until 6 p.m, providing nutritious afternoon tea for the children and a range of indoor and outdoor experiences based on the children's interests. Our program is play-based and interest-led, which means the children are engaging in a wide range of experiences that they love. In the school holidays, we also run a vacation care program, which provides incursions, excursions, and centre-based activities for the children, ranging from things like magic shows, ice skating, parks. We also have dress-up days, cooking days, and a lot of other things that keep the children really engaged and have a nice, fun time with their friends.
Hope to see you very soon.
We can't wait to see you here at St Nicholas OOSH Chisholm very soon. Thank you.
Perfect.
Hi guys, it's Jess from the Athlete's Foot Maitland. I'm coming to you today to give you some information about our back to school program that we run in store, as well as some of the range we carry that is school approved. So our back to school program is a free program we offer local schools, and we have been working with St Aloysius in this program for the past few years, which has proven to be really successful, which is really exciting for you guys. Basically how it works is every pair of shoes purchased in store, $5 it gets donated back to the school. So all you have to do when you come in store is, once you've been fitted by one of our fit experts, we'll ask whether you're a member or not. If you are, then that's great. We'll join the school up to your membership. If you're not, it is free to join. We'll just require a couple of details. Once you're all set up, we will link the school to your account. So just let us know what school. In your case, it will be St Aloysius. Once that sale is processed, $5 will be donated back to the school. Our range in January is quite extensive, so I'm just going to show you a couple of options that we do carry year round. So basically you do have your standard kind of leather school shoe, which is this lace-up one here. We do have plenty of brands in store, especially in our January period. You do have some Velcro options as well, so you've got your little double Velcro there, and you've also got a little Mary Jane style as well. Again, you've got plenty of different brands that do these styles and different width options as well, which is really great. You do also have some of your white cross trainers, which predominantly white for you guys. We do have plenty of options in store. So you've got Velcro and laced options. We do have plenty of colors, all school approved. Don't stress if you come in store and get overwhelmed. All of our fit experts are very aware of what is school approved. So we really look forward to seeing you guys in January. We hope you have a really good day and enjoy your orientation. Bye.
Hello families, and welcome to the St Aloysius Learning Hub's orientation slideshow. In this slideshow, we'll be looking at the 3 focus areas of the Learning Hub: library borrowing, and fun activities and clubs that the Learning Hub runs. Let's begin. The Learning Hub has 3 focus areas: technology, environment, and library. Technology. Students learn and develop future-focused technology skills through using iPads and HP Stream devices in lessons, participating in STEAM learning activities, and being exposed to library programs and software, such as our Oliver system. So at the moment, students are learning how to research a book on our Oliver system and then find it on the shelf. Students also learn how to scan and return books when they're borrowing, as well as navigating the library catalogue. Here you can also see some of our Year 6 students completing research tasks during library lessons and filming for their iMovies outside. Environment. Students learn about the environment through indoor and outdoor learning spaces. During library, we make sure to run lots of lessons outside so as the students can use our wonderful outdoor areas. Students participate in sustainability learning activities, for example, creating and looking after our garden. And finally, students are exposed to sustainability practices and literature. In these photos, you can see our students participating in lessons outside and also participating in our wonderful lunch club activities. We also have a lovely little community library where students can sit down and read at lunch. These books are donated by people from our community. The students really enjoy utilising the library's wonderful outdoor spaces. Library. Students learn about the library through exposure to quality literature, participating in literary activities, programs and learning experiences, borrowing an array of high-quality books and literature, and developing a lifelong love of reading. Here you can see our students in library lessons engaging in quality literature and reading for enjoyment. Library borrowing. Students borrow once a week on a designated library day. To borrow, they need a library bag. So here are some examples. We have the St. Aloysius library bag, which is available through Quicker. Environmental bags that you can get from Woolies also work. A4 document cases are also great because they protect the books and they provide a waterproof protection as well. These are also available from Big W and Officeworks, and even pillowcases. They work just as well to protect the books when bringing them home. Learning Hub activities. So the library is accessible to all students during lunchtimes. So we run a variety of lunch clubs, which include Lego, drawing, games, puzzles, origami, craft, and technology. We also have our STEAM room, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. Here we run little challenges and competitions for the students to participate in. Each year we also run the Premier's Reading Challenge. So the Premier's Reading Challenge is a fun way to get students to love reading and to engage in reading. Then by participating, the students receive a certificate and a pencil or a pen for their efforts. It's a great way to encourage a lifelong love of reading. Here you can see an example of our lunch club's timetable and photos of our students participating in our indoor and outdoor activities during lunchtimes. Learning Hub special days and events. So some of our special events include Book Week, where students get to dress up as their favourite book character, our Maitland Library Roadshow, which consists of the ladies from Maitland Library coming and performing the Book Week books each year, author and illustrator visits. So this year we have Dub Leffler, the author and illustrator, coming to visit during Book Week. Book Fair, where students get to purchase a book and the money raised goes into buying more books for the school. And Civic Theatre stage shows, where students get to watch their books come to life. Here you can see some photos of our Book Week activities from last year and our author visit from Liz and Ellie. Your Learning Hub. So we encourage families to feel welcome in our Learning Hub. Our doors are always open. We are always looking for helpers in our library to assist in covering and labelling our new books and also helping during book fair. Ultimately, our goal in the Learning Hub is to instill in students a love of books and literature and to create lifelong readers. We hope you have enjoyed this glimpse into our Learning Hub. Happy reading!
Hi everybody, my name is Donna. I'm a speech pathologist working with the Catholic Schools Office, and the wonderful staff at St. Aloysius have invited me here today just to have a chat with you about transitioning into the school setting from a speech pathology point of view, especially really focusing on two big areas, talking and listening. Now sadly, I guess I usually do this in front of you where you can ask questions. Times are a little bit different, but hey, at least you get to be comfortable on your own lounge watching this. So before we get any further along in this chat, let's just clear up some myths. So I'm not here to give you a big list of anything that your child must be able to do before starting kindergarten. So no one expects children to be able to read, to be a budding Mozart, to recite the alphabet in reverse, or complete a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Our children have been learning and growing since the day they were born. It's a lifelong journey and one that everyone develops along at a different rate and a different sequence. And if you think about it, I guess little Jack starting next year might be turning 6 in early December, but his mate Lily starting with him might have turned 6 in January. So there's essentially a difference of 20% of their young lived lives between these two kids already. Kindergarten teachers are exceptional investigators. They dedicate so much time, particularly in the early part of kindergarten, getting to know each and every child to understand where they're really at developmentally so they can provide the right teaching and learning experiences at the right time for the right child. But what I will talk to you about are some evidence-based preschool skills that are linked to improved educational outcomes, with 3 big ones being communication, development of emotions and thinking skills, and social skills. And while speech pathologists work on all 3 of these areas, I really just wanted to focus on one today with you, communication. So children with proficient communication skills are more likely to experience academic success, have high self-esteem, and relate well to their peers. There are a lot of skills we need to develop to be effective communicators, and if you've ever worked with a speechy before, then you will probably have heard of some of these terms, particularly oral language. And when I use this, I'm essentially referring to verbal talking skills, not about speaking French, German, or Japanese. Our language skills can be broken up into 2 main areas. We have what we call receptive language, and that's basically taking meaning, understanding, processing information that you've been given, either verbally or written. And then we also have expressive language, and that's being able to formulate our thoughts and ideas and put them into words and express them appropriately. These 2 areas can develop quite differently from each other, and we can be more skilled in one than the other or need a little bit of support with one or the other. Then we also have something, and you might think of this automatically when you hear speech pathologist, perhaps more than language, but it's around speech and articulation. And that's the sounds that we make and the way that we pronounce our words. So all these 3 areas, very separate, very different, and a huge part of kindergarten is building that receptive and expressive language. But speech is still just really important as well. And I'm sure you've got a big list of all of the funny ways that your kids have said words over the years. I know my 2-year-old is currently switching out all of her S blends for an F, which sent us into a bit of a panic the other day trying to figure out what she wanted when she kept saying 4, 4, 4. And we're thinking, well, what 4 do you need? And she actually just wanted a straw for her cup. She's only 2, so that's actually an okay error for her to be making at her age. But there's definitely ages and stages when we would expect children to have certain sounds. And typically, we would hope that most children to be starting school with intelligible speech to unfamiliar adults. So, how do we improve language skills so that we can best set our children up for success with learning to read when coming to school? If there's 3 things you take away from today, it's play with your child, talk to your child, and read with your child. I'm sure there's no prizes for guessing those 3 things, but we cannot underestimate how important they are. Let's take a little bit of a closer look around how we talk to our children. So everyone probably has their own examples of this, but children are little sponges and they learn language by listening to others around them. Take a look. So even though we don't know what she's saying, she still has the same intonation patterns, the gestural patterns. She's just copying everything that she has obviously seen, which is quite concerning and puts a lot of pressure on parents to be careful about what we say and do, of course. Something else that we need to think about is around just narrating everyday events, even the really boring ones, because there's lots of great language that can come out during those times. Hanging the clothes on the line can be talking about colours, concepts, long, short. Some memories can come up. This is the dress you wore to your friend's party. How many pegs have we used? So you don't have to come up with crazy interesting stories all the time to talk about. Just talk about everyday things. We really need to model how we talk about our own feelings and emotions as well. There's a lot of skill in that, and that's something that we develop and children will continue to develop for a long time. So they won't necessarily be experts at it at this age, but just start to model that process that you go through yourself. So explaining that when you see your son hit his sister, you start to feel hot, your heart races, your head might get fuzzy, you've become angry, which makes you want to yell and stamp your foot. So it's verbalizing all those internal things that happen, and modeling how we can talk about those things. We also have to be a good listener. We tend to hound our kids to do this, but take a step back and actually think, are we modeling this behavior ourselves? We lead obviously really busy lives, and although you're probably listening to your child's long story about the latest Spider-Man story for the 200th time that day, are you actually continuing to wash the dishes or prepare dinner and say, yes, yes, I'm listening? When if the child did the same thing, we would say, you're not listening. So just have a think about that, and how are we modeling ourselves to be good listeners to our children? The other thing to think about is to try not to overcorrect too much. It's always good to rephrase your child's sentences if they've used the incorrect grammar, but you can do that in a really subtle way. So if they've said, yesterday I jumped in the puddle, you can say, yeah, you had so much fun yesterday, you jumped in the puddle. So you don't have to necessarily say that's wrong, this is how you say it, just model it back in the correct way. Recasting and expanding are actually two techniques, I suppose, that are appropriate for everyone, no matter what journey of language learning they're on. So we should always be expanding on our children's language so that they continue to develop. And you'll find that you do this naturally as parents. However, sometimes we can find it easier to listen to the message and what they're saying rather than how they're saying it. So when your child says an incomplete sentence, you can recast it to make it more grammatically and structurally correct, which is what we just spoke about. So if your child said her sad, you can recast it to say she is sad. But when your child says a short sentence, you might like to expand it by adding another piece of information. Child says, look, a bird. You could say, yes, a little white bird. So we're just modeling the next step up from where they're currently at the moment. So now we'll move on to, I guess, thinking about how we're helping our children develop a love of reading. So reading is quite different to talking. They're exposed to a whole different level of vocabulary that you don't use when you're just having a conversation, as well as exposing them to the skills of just reading and being able to move through a book from start to finish. So here's some tips for helping to build those skills with your children. It's really important that we try so hard to do it every day, and start to show that it can be a fun thing to do. The ability to tell or retell a story has been shown to be a really strong predictor of reading performance in general education. However, children with language difficulties really often tend to be asked more questions than a child with typically developing language. So we have to be really careful not to just bombard them and feel like we're testing them all the time when we're reading a story. It needs to be just a shared experience and something that's fun, doesn't feel like a drill for the children. So a really good ratio to work towards is probably 4 to 1. So 4 comments or statements that you're making to 1 question per page that you're asking the child. So I've got one of my favourite books here, The Gruffalo. And if I was to look at this page, sorry, I'll try and get it where you can see it. I'm thinking about what questions versus what comments I'm going to make. So I might make a comment like, I can see the little mouse. I think he looks surprised. That's one comment. There's lots of trees growing in the forest. Look at all the roots. And so we're building on some vocabulary that perhaps our children might not have had access to before. And oh, look, I can see a tree has fallen down. The owl's flying away. I think he looks a little worried. Okay, so there's 4 comments that I've made talking about this picture. And then I might ask a question. Oh, look, an owl can fly. Can you think of something else that can fly? And that brings us to the last, number 3 take-home point around play. And we know that children really learn best when they're doing and experiencing things themselves, as well as making it relevant to their own little world experiences. They're much more likely to understand it and remember it. There is so much language development and instruction that happens all day in everyday situations. So think about, all the beautiful description words that you can talk about when you're playing in a mud pit or in a sand pit. Think about all of the multi-step instructions that you can share together when you're playing at the playground or going on a treasure hunt together. So the great thing is that language learning and experiences like that are fun, and it's not something that you need to sit down and do a worksheet or force our children to participate in. So enjoy it and have fun with it. So as I said at the beginning of this presentation, all children will start kindergarten with a whole variety of different strengths and difficulties. However, we know that if there are some concerns around speech and language development, that the earlier the intervention is accessed, the better the outcomes will be for your child. So feel free to just pause your video, have a quick scan through some of these talking and listening skills, and see if maybe there's anything that we might need to follow up with. So if you've got any concerns around how your child's developing with their speech and language skills, there's a few steps that you might like to take. A great place to start is just having a conversation with the current setting, whether that's preschool or daycare. You can also chat to a staff member at St. Aloysius and they can put you into contact with me. Booking for a hearing assessment is something you might like to consider. And then of course referring to a community health centre who have a team of speech pathologists, or seeking a private speech pathology assessment as well is an option. So thanks for listening and good luck on your new journey starting school next year. Bye everybody.
Good for Kids supports schools in all areas of health promotion. Today's kinder orientation presentation will focus on nutrition in schools, breakfast, lunchboxes and canteens, right through to the importance of physical activity. Good for Kids would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we're meeting on today and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We'd also like to extend that respect to any Aboriginal people who are present today. You may already know about Good for Kids, but we're a team of health professionals and teachers from Hunter New England Population Health, and we support schools in delivering our Live Life Well at School program. Our program focuses on the 11 health promoting practices that encourage healthy eating and promote physical activity in your school. The healthy eating recommendations today are based on the Australian Healthy Eating Guidelines, with a focus on everyday foods to fuel your child for a day at school. To start the day right, we all know breakfast really is the most important meal of the day. It provides your child with energy and nutrients for the day ahead and helps them with learning, concentration and behaviour in the classroom. There are lots of quick and easy options like whole grain cereals and toast, fruit and yogurt. Children are eating nearly 1/3 of their daily intake during the school day. With 86% of children bringing a packed lunch from home, it's really important to consider the foods that go into your child's lunchbox. Just like a healthy breakfast, a healthy lunchbox provides your child with energy to learn and play. It contributes to better behaviour and improved concentration, boosts school performance both in and out of the classroom, and it keeps their teeth healthy. Crunch and sip or fruit break is a set time during the school day, usually around 10 a.m. in most classes. It's a time to eat fresh vegetables and fruit and drink water in the classroom. Fresh is always best for crunch and sip. Things like fruit muffins, fruit juice, vegetable crisps should not be packed for crunch and sip time. Crunch and sip allows children to refuel and rehydrate. Did you know that 4 out of 5 children are getting enough daily fruit? However, only 1 in 10 are getting enough vegetables. This is a great opportunity to focus on vegetables as a snack. Cut up extras for crunch and sip when preparing dinner the night before and pop them in the lunchbox ready to go.
My favourite everyday lunchbox food is
a fruit salad with yogurt.
Cucumber.
Probably apples, pears and bananas. Watermelon.
Cucumbers.
Carrots.
Because it's very crunchy and sweet.
I like fruit salads because they're really juicy and they're really tasty. Because it's healthy and it's yummy and juicy.
I like to enjoy them even when I'm at home for like little snacks when I'm hungry.
They're nice and crunchy. Because they're yummy, healthy and they are colourful.
When When it comes to packing recess snacks, the types of foods in the pictures here are quick, convenient and everyday options. If you're looking for something sweet, try things like pikelets, fruit bread, cereal bites, vanilla custard. For savoury options, veggie sticks and dip, air-popped popcorn or plain rice crackers are all great options. There may be some students at your school that have severe allergies, so please ask your school if there are any products that are not recommended, for example nuts or eggs, and follow these requirements. There are lots of healthy options to keep hungry kids satisfied when eating lunch at school. Making it easy starts with some useful ideas and a simple routine. Check out this video. Four key components make up the lunchbox: crunch and sip, a recess snack, lunch, and your drink, preferably water. Remember to keep lunchboxes simple and don't overpack. All classes have that time to sit down and eat, time before the kids go out to play. But kids are so busy at school, wanting to be with their friends, talking, playing. They just need some small healthy portions to give them enough fuel to keep moving throughout the day. Each serve of recess, a snack, bread roll, wrap, pasta salad or sandwich should easily be eaten in one hand. Good for Kids help promote healthy lunchboxes at your school through their Swap at Lunchbox program. This includes lunchbox guidelines that have been developed and implemented by the school, a parent resource booklet that contains tips and ideas. You'll receive one of those. Teachers are provided with flip charts, lesson plans to help guide healthy eating lessons in the classroom. Swap at Healthy Eating ideas are also delivered to parents through your school's usual communication channels. Messages are short and provide practical advice on how to make healthy swaps in the lunchbox. The Swap It website also provides additional information, tips, ideas, and lots of recipes. When it comes to overall nutrition in schools, schools follow what's called the Nutrition in Schools policy. Healthy eating and good nutrition should be promoted at all school activities and programs which involve food and drinks, including fundraisers. Teaching nutrition is part of the PD Health PE syllabus. Sugar-sweetened drinks should not be sold to students, either through the canteen or during any other school events. Where school activities involve the provision of food and drinks to the wider school community, consideration should always be given to promoting healthy eating. It's recommended that teachers do not use food rewards in their classrooms, and school canteens are also required to implement the New South Wales Healthy School Canteen Strategy. As part of the Nutrition in Schools policy, it's really important that the school canteen promotes and encourages healthy options also. The New South Wales Healthy Canteen Strategy is based on the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating and the Health Star rating system. It helps canteens provide healthier options for children. Everyday foods should fill at least 3/4 of the canteen menu. The rest can be occasional foods, but these must have a Health Star rating of 3.5 or more. When it comes to drinks, canteens can only sell water, 99% fruit juice, and plain and flavoured milk. Sugary drinks are not to be sold, and these include sugary ice blocks. When it comes to physical activity, primary school aged children should be active for at least 1 hour per day. Schools are required to schedule 150 minutes or 120 minutes in Catholic and independent schools of physical activity across the school week for all children. This may include PE lessons that focus on developing our fundamental movement skills, school sport time, and short active breaks in the classroom called energizers, which give kids a break and help to refocus during long learning lessons. You may hear your kids start talking about Go Noodle, a great website that lots of teachers use for energizers in the classroom. In addition to scheduled activity, students can also access the playground with lots of sports equipment during recess and lunch. With approximately 30 minutes of activity time happening at school, another 30 minutes needs to happen at home. And there are plenty of ways that you can get your children physically active too. At home, you can limit their recreation screen time to less than 2 hours per day. Encourage active travel, particularly to and from school. It's a great way to get your children moving more. Encourage play in the backyard, join a team sport, and most of all, make moving fun. Thanks so much for your time today, and good luck as you begin this exciting journey with your child into primary school. For any more information on health promotion in your school, check out our website at Good for Kids.
Hi everyone, my name is Sonia Walters and I'm one of our kindergarten teachers. I'm also a member of our school executive team. I just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce myself and reassure you that we're going to do everything we can to make the transition to kinder as easy as possible. This will start with our Zoom meeting on September 23rd. I really encourage you to email any questions that you may have to our school admin office and we will answer them in the live Zoom. Please don't think your question is silly, as somebody else is probably thinking the same thing. Keep an eye on our school Facebook page as well, as we'll be posting little videos and updates there whenever we can. Please contact the school office if your email address has changed or your home address, as we'll be sending out lots of important information. Looking forward to getting to know you, your families and your little ones much more in 2021. Thank you.